been hard. It's been tough, and if it weren't for the boxing, like, and pushing through and using the pain to put into our passion and our career, I don't think we would have achieved what we have. You know, like, it's been hard. It's been hard growing up, and boxing was our escape. Well, certainly was mine. I could have gone drugs, alcohol, lost my mind, don't know how to cope, but I channeled it in the right way. 2022, I'll win another world title. That's the expectation I've got on now. My next fight's a big fight. I can't really say too much right now because I'm just signing the contract, so I don't want to speak anything out there that might disrupt that. But I'm back in the mix. Big fight. Signed with a new promotional outfit as well, which will be coming in the next week or so. It's any time drop-in, so I still can't say that. But big things are happening, man, and it's nice to be back amongst it, you know.
October Red Boxing here with the lovely Charlie Edwards. Charlie Edwards, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today. Obviously, we're here with the KHANBROOK card. But what I wanted to say, and we were just talking about it off camera, something that always drew me to your attention was the fact on how you brought your mum to all your boxing shows. So just tell us a little bit about that, and obviously how your mum's helped you guys in the sport.
Yeah, like, I've always been a mummy's boy, always have been. Like, even when I was just turning over pro, I always used to go around and spend all day with her. I'd train in the morning, she'd cook me lunch, cook me breakfast, and I'd go training at night. You know, like, what happened to her was tough for us as a family, and to be honest, she's been a big part of it because the pain has helped us push, you know. It's not been easy for me, my younger brother, my sister especially. She's a full-time carer for my mum now, but seeing the up and down journey and stuff of my mum, it's been hard, it's been tough, and if it weren't for the boxing, like, and pushing through and using the pain to put into our passion and our career, I don't think we would have achieved what we have. You know, like, it's been hard. It's been hard growing up, and boxing was our escape. Well, certainly was mine.
And we talk about that escape, and the thing is, I don't think, you know, a lot of people realise that, you know, they say that, you know, boxing saves lives. You know, you go from, like you said, your mum being healthy, and then to see, obviously, her not get well, and then it changes everything. So yeah, I get it. It's like the boxing becomes that escape and becomes that safe place.
Most definitely, like, because if it weren't for boxing, who knows where I could have been. It really affected me massively, and it still affects me to this day. I still find it hard even to, like, communicate with my mum because she struggles still, and it was always one of my, like, biggest fears growing up, and like, when it happened, I just sometimes don't know how to cope. So it's been hard. It's been really tough, but like I said, it has manifested in other ways. The pain has manifested into becoming successful and putting it into my boxing, and to put it into my boxing saved me because I could have gone drugs, alcohol, lost my mind, don't know how to cope, but I channeled it in the right way.
I can kind of, like, obviously my experience is not exactly the same as yours, but my mum got ill. She had a stroke, and she wasn't the same after she had a stroke. And I kind of understand how that makes you feel because, like you said, it's almost like you lose that person that put you here, that person that looks after you, you know, and then it's like you automatically, it's like you've traded places.
It's hard, yeah, most definitely. I say this all the time, like, my mum's here, but she's not here. She isn't as mad as that sounds, she isn't the same person as she was.
I get it.
So it's like, in a way, it's torture because you need to be grateful because she's still around, but yet you feel away because you've lost a person who you grew up with, and it's tough. It's really tough, and I still suffer today. I still battle with it today, and I still get stuck in my head. Feel emotionally numb. I still can't work it out. And to see her like that, which she would never want to be. She had many strokes too. And it's not nice. I look at my mum and think, wow, you're tortured. You're living a not so good life, and you're tortured day in, day out. So it's hard, but she never gives up, bless her. She smiles. She is still experiencing life in a good way, seeing her grandchildren, my brother's kids, 2 boys, and my daughter come into this world. So she still gets to see it, whether she knows all of it or not. She still smiles. So that's all we can do, make her smile and keep winning for her.
I like that mindset because, like you said, you could have done all sorts, but you choose to fight. You know that I wouldn't even say the word passion is like a purpose. This gives you a reason to fight on something. You know the importance of boxing. You know there's probably people out there that will, I don't know, listen to this and hear your story. What advice would you give, say, to, I don't know, a younger self that's probably going to go through something like this? What kind of advice would you give them? It's survival. It really is. Like, we give all this cliche thing of we're fighters, we keep fighting every day, but listen, everyone on this earth's a fighter. Everyone's suffering their own pain, struggles, hardships, fails, everything, loss of loved ones, their family going through other traumatic experiences, and you've just got to keep fighting. You've just got to keep pushing forward. You've got to keep being grateful that if they are still here, that you can create memories still. And it's not easy. Life isn't easy, but we're all fighters. Just because we're boxers doesn't mean we're the only fighters here. Just because MMA fighters, they're not the only fighters. Everyone in this day-to-day, this crazy world that we're in, whatever it may be, reality that we're living, we all have to fight one way or another. Just keep fighting, man. I like that. And we talk about fighting and we talk about your successes. Tell us a little bit about when we can see you out again and what are your aspirations? Where are you looking to go? 2022, you know, the world seems to be getting back to normal as such, if there ever is a normal. What can we expect from yourself?
2022, I'll win another world title. That's the expectation I've got on now. My next fight's a big fight. I can't really say too much right now because I'm just signing the contract, so I don't want to speak anything out there that might disrupt that. But I'm back in the mix. Big fight. Signed with a new promotional outfit as well, which will be coming in the next week or so. It's any time dropping, so I still can't say that. But big things are happening, man, and it's nice to be back amongst it, you know. I've had a quiet stage in my career, obviously, getting through the Martinez madness, falling into a deep and dark depression myself, and climbing back out on the other side, changing my team around, relighting my fire again, not knowing whether I wanted boxing or not no more, and coming back to it, teaming up with Joe Gallagher, and you know what, like, the rest and the break done me the world of good. I had to focus on me, I had to repair and had to heal myself before I could push again. The pressure's real at the top, man. The pressure is really real, and it's hard to deal with, especially as a young boy coming through who was chucked into the limelight, who didn't understand anything, and I had to work it out as I went along. Made some mistakes along the way, hold my hands up, learn from them. You live and you learn, and now this next push is going to be good. More experienced, more mature, and more articulated Charlie Edwards has come in, and it's going to be back on the world scene very soon.
That is really, really positive. But one of the things that you touched on there is about changing a team. Now, when you've been established like yourself, you've got a lot of people around you, certain people around you, and you grow as a fighter. What makes you then make the decision to say, you know what, I really need to kind of like spring clean what I'm doing and have that time out?
You know what, it's very daunting and it's very challenging because for me, I've always gone where my career has took me, yeah. I'm not one to stay in my home comfort, stay in my hometown. I always believe you have to be uncomfortable to grow. I've always stepped out of my comfort zones and then become better all through my career. I've proved it as I've gone along, and it was the same again. It was really hard to make the decision to leave Sheffield, where my brother is, my nephews are. I was with Grant Smith at Steel City for 3 years, but the time come to an end and I just felt like I needed a new lease of life. I needed a change, and it was hard to make the jump, especially after becoming a world champion, defending it, and then vacating it and moving up a weight. But I had to do it. I did it, and I'm on the back end of it now. Teamed up with Joe now. I've been there, I think, 7 months now. I'm loving life in my new gym, around my new team, and the world's my oyster. And I feel revitalised, and I feel really good. And I needed it. I always say this, right? I've been boxing now 18 years. 18 years. I first laced up a pair of gloves when I was 11. I'm 29 now, believe it or not. And listen, footballers change teams. Footballers change teams and they get transferred. And in boxing, I think sometimes someone can stay in a place too long and harm themselves. When you feel like you need to spread your wings and fly, don't let fear hold you back. You've got to go with it and you won't regret it. And what's the worst that can happen? You make a mistake, you move on again. But at least you're trying to better yourself day in, day out. I'm not one of the fighters who want to stay the same, stay in my comfort zones. I want to get out of my comfort zones and grow as a fighter.
And I think you're experiencing in life just what you've been through. I don't think you're someone that would want to get comfortable, because I think that you thrive in adversity. So maybe that is the best thing for someone like yourself. Definitely.
It's a weird thing. I have this conversation with my family all the time. They're like, when are you going to just settle down? When are you going to stand still and just settle? And I'm like, I'm one of these people who always want to explore. It must be because I'm an Aquarius or something, but I'm like, next thing, what's next? What should we do? I need to learn this. I need to get better. I need to add this to my game. I'm not happy with standing still. And maybe that's my blessing and my curse in the same way, but I'm doing all right, and everybody's journey is different, I suppose.
Similar words to Josh Taylor. He's kind of got a similar mindset to yourself. I've spoke to him, and a couple of words that he said kind of like resonate with what you said. But I'm excited to see you back out. I'm excited that you've got a new promotional company, you've got a fight coming up, you want more titles. Charlie, I'm grateful for the time that you've taken to speak to me, and it's an absolute honour to meet you. From watching you on the TV to actually standing here and speaking with you now, it's an absolute honour. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you. Listen, without the boxing media, and especially the way the world is now, so much media, so much social media, without all this kind of time and effort you guys put in, we are no one. Do you know what I mean? It helps us spread our name, it gets us out there, and it promotes us. So thank you as well.
October Red Boxing, Charlie Edwards. Until the next time. Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.